In Wednesday's episode of EastEnders, Dean Wicks is furious about being banned from his daughter's fundraiser at the Queen Vic. He manipulates his way in, posing a danger to Jade. Meanwhile, Honey confronts Avani's parents about her son vaping, and tensions rise over Lauren's birthday plans. Return to Paradise, a new Death in Paradise spin-off set in Australia, is announced, featuring a female detective in Dolphin Cove. Call the Midwife teases Trixie's departure amid rumors about her future with husband Matthew. EastEnders spoilers, evil Dean Wicks puts Jade in danger. Airs at 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday, March 20, 2024 on BBC One. Dean Wicks pushes daughter Jade Green too far in Wednesday's episode of EastEnders. Dean Wicks is seething that he's been banned from his own daughter's charity fundraiser, as Linda Carter doesn't want him anywhere near the Queen Vic. Linda agreed to let Jade hold her fundraiser in the pub when Jean Slater revealed she needed a venue. But the last thing Linda can stomach is having rapist Dean, the man who assaulted her and forced her into a fake denial, turning up to taunt her with his presence. When Linda's son Johnny Carter, who hates Dean with a passion, taunts him about being kept out in the cold, Dean is fuming. Not wanting to let Linda get the better of him, he schemes to find a way to get in, spinning a sob story to Jean and her partner Harvey Monroe. When Dean turns up at the Vic, Jade begs landlady Elaine Peacock to let Dean in to hear her speech, promising he'll leave straight after that. A nervous Jade waits for her big moment but is badgered by Dean, who pleads and wheedles to get her to agree to stay in London, instead of moving to Pakistan with her mum Shabnam Masood. Little does Jade know that an evil Dean's been tampering with her medication for her chest infection, hoping to keep her ill and stop her from leaving. Linda Carter is horrified when she sees Dean in the pub, and in a panic, she runs upstairs to hide. A worried Jean follows Linda and feels terrible when Linda makes Jean see that Dean has been playing her. Determined to give it to Dean with both barrels, Jean storms back downstairs and finds an upset Jade with Dean. Considering lung transplant recipient Jade's fragile state, will Dean's actions put her in even more danger? Honey Mitchell is horrified when she discovers her young son Will Mitchell vaping. Demanding to know where he got the vape from, Honey's fuming when under pressure he confesses that he was sold the vape by teenager Avani Nandrahart. Storming into the Queen Vic during Jade Green's charity fundraiser, Honey finds Avani's parents Priya Nandrahart and Ravi Gulati, and she furiously confronts them. She's left frustrated, however, when Priya refuses to accept responsibility for her daughter's actions or even apologize. Also, Lauren Branning isn't keen on sister Penny Branning's suggestion that she have a big 30th birthday celebration, especially when she learns that Peter Beale can't make it. EastEnders continues on BBC One on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Return to Paradise, everything we know about the Death in Paradise spin-off. Return to Paradise is a brand new spin-off with the twist that it's set in Australia. Return to Paradise is a new Death in Paradise spin-off following a female London Metropolitan Police officer who's forced to return home to Australia. It's the second Death in Paradise spin-off, following on from the success of Beyond Paradise, which saw Chris Marshall returning to his role as D.I. Humphrey Goodman as he enjoys a new life in Devon with partner Martha. The new show is 6 parts and will begin filming in 2024. Sue Deeks, head of BBC Programme Acquisition, says, "Everything we all love about Death in Paradise, the humor, the beautiful scenery, the likeable characters, the ingenious plots, now in a fabulous Australian setting. I cannot wait for BBC viewers to be introduced to Detective Mac and the good, and not so good folk of Dolphin Cove. What a treat we have in store." Best Death in Paradise episodes ranked. Return to Paradise release date. Return to Paradise will, at the earliest, be released in late 2024, although it might be 2025. With Death in Paradise Season 13 due in January 2024 and Beyond Paradise Season 2 due in spring 2024, might Return to Paradise slot into BBC One's autumn 2024 schedule? We don't know yet, and it's also unclear when it will come to American audiences. It will air on ABC in Australia. Now, we do at least have some plot details. Meet Mackenzie Clark, a high-ranking officer in the London Metropolitan Police. She's of course known for being brilliant at solving tricky cases. But she's forced to return home to Australia. Quite why she's forced back is yet to be revealed. The main twist here on Death in Paradise and Beyond Paradise is we are following the adventures of a female detective, rather than a male cop. Mac returns to her childhood home of Dolphin Cove, which is stunningly beautiful and a place that she loathes. Quite why she loathes it so much is also unclear. But we do know that she's very unpopular with the locals and that her ex, whom she left at the altar 6 years ago, is still living there. But when a murder takes place, it's up to Mac to solve it. The makers promise it will have a uniquely Aussie flavor. Return to Paradise cast. No casting details have been announced. An interesting question is which characters from the Death in Paradise world, or the Paraverse, as it's now known, will feature? To be classed as an actual spin-off, rather than an opportunist piece of titling that links it to the main show, surely it has to feature at least one character from either Death in Paradise or Beyond Paradise? When we get casting news, we will update this article. Is Dolphin Cove a real place? Yes, there's a place called Dolphin Cove in Australia. Dolphin Cove, though, isn't a town but rather a beautiful beach which is a tourist attraction in the Cape Arid National Park in Western Australia. There was also an American TV series called Dolphin Cove, which ran for one series in 1989, and was also set in Australia. Is there a trailer? David is the What to Watch editor and has over 20 years of experience in television journalism. He is currently writing about the latest television and film news for What to Watch. Before working for What to Watch, David spent many years working for TV Times magazine, interviewing some of television's most famous stars including Hollywood actor Kiefer Sutherland, singer Lionel Richie and wildlife legend Sir David Attenborough. David started out as a writer for TV Times before becoming the title's deputy features editor and then features editor. During his time on TV Times, David also helped run the annual TV Times Awards. David is a huge Death in Paradise fan, although he still failed to solve a case before the show's detective. He also loves James Bond and controversially thinks that Timothy Dalton was an excellent 007. Other than watching and writing about telly, David loves playing cricket, going to the cinema, trying to improve his tennis and chasing about after his kids. Call the Midwife confusion as Helen George's future on show thrown into doubt. It has been hinted that Call the Midwife favorite Trixie Franklin is set to leave the show. It has been reported that Call the Midwife fan favorite, Trixie Franklin, could be bowing out of the show at the end of the next season, a move that will shock fans of the show. According to reports in The Sun, Helen George's character, Trixie, will be leaving in the final episode of Call the Midwife Season 13 when she decides to quit Poplar with her husband, Matthew Aylward. Fans of the show will know that Trixie, who has been in Call the Midwife since the show began, married Matthew in a lavish wedding at the end of Call the Midwife Season 12. But recently, reports that Ollie Ricks, who joined as Matthew in 2021, had been written out of the show left viewers stunned and sad that usually unlucky in love, Trixie wouldn't get her happy ending after all. However, in a new twist, it has now been reported that Trix and Matthew's marriage might not be ending after all, because she is reportedly set to follow her husband as he moves away from Poplar. A source reportedly told The Sun that the upcoming series will end on a cliffhanger, with Helen's character Trixie deciding to leave. Scriptwriters will send shockwaves through the fanbase in the new series as Helen and Ollie's future on the show looks shaky. Ollie's departure has left the cast and crew stunned and upset. They all thought he was a series mainstay after his prominent wedding scenes to Helen last season. Now Helen's character commits to leaving the East London setting in the final episode, following her on-screen husband. However, whether reports are correct remains to be seen, especially after Radio Times claimed that there was no truth in the rumors. Trixie will not be leaving Poplar at the end of the next season, while Ricks will be present throughout the entire 13th season and his departure from the series has not yet been confirmed. While fans will have to wait until season 13 hits our screens in the new year to find out what Trixie and Matthew's fate is, one thing we do know for sure is that before the new season starts, we have the Call the Midwife Christmas Special 2023 to look forward to. The official synopsis for the festive special reveals there is plenty of Christmas drama heading to Non-Nata's house as always. It is now 1969 and more babies are being born in hospitals than ever before. Pressure on maternity beds remains extremely high across the country, but Poplar is coping better than most due to the work of Non-Nata's house and the popularity of home births under the auspices of the sisters. The Call the Midwife Christmas Special traditionally airs on Christmas Day at around 8 p.m. on BBC One, with Call the Midwife Season 13 thought to be following in the new year. In the US, the Call the Midwife Christmas Special also traditionally airs on Christmas Day on PBS around 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Claire Crick, Assistant Managing Editor at What to Watch. Claire is assistant managing editor at What to Watch and has been a journalist for over 15 years, writing about everything from soaps and TV to beauty, entertainment, and even the royal family. After starting her career at a soap magazine, she ended up staying for 13 years, and over that time she's pulled pints in The Rover's Return, sung karaoke in the Emmerdale Village Hall, taken a stroll around Albert Square, and visited Summer Bay Surf Club in sunny Australia. After learning some tricks of the trade at websites Digital Spy, Entertainment Daily, and Woman and Home, Claire landed a role at What's on TV and WHowToWatch.com, writing about all things TV and film, with a particular love for Aussie soaps, Strictly Come Dancing and Bake Off. She's interviewed everyone from June Brown, aka Cotton, to Michelle Keegan, swapped cooking tips with baking legend Mary Berry backstage at the NTAs, and danced the night away with soap stars at countless awards bashes. There's not a lot she doesn't know about soaps and TV and can be very handy when a soapy question comes up in a pub quiz. As well as all things soap-related, Claire also loves running, spa breaks, days out with her kids, and getting lost in a good book. Please subscribe our channel.